This is a video by Richmond. Today we are working on a Ford Escape. This happens to be a 2004 model. And what we're doing today is we are removing the door, regulator, and motor. First thing we're going to do is to remove the inner door panel. And we're going to start with the electrical switch right here. And we'll start from the top with a small screwdriver. It's a tight fit in there. Normally I'd use my panel remover, but in this case it's really tight. Not a lot of space. There we are. Now we can remove our electrical connectors. There we go. Don't let this switch go too far because you're going to be using it. Get that window down. Next thing we need to do is to remove this Phillips head screw right here on the edge of the door. And if we come up here, we will see one down in the handle pull area. And if we come over here, there'll be one right here underneath this cover. Ah, there you are. So we're gonna get that one, and the last one is over here underneath this little cover right there. You can see that's a Phillips screw. Phillips head screw. Okay, so we need to remove those now. Okay, now that we have the screws out, let's get this little bezel out around the handle. Comes right off like that. Now we'll take our panel remover, get underneath the edge. Panel off, work way up. Here's our door panel all off. Next thing we're going to do is to remove this weather barrier. Try to keep it in one piece. Go. Next thing I'm going to do is remove these four 5.5 millimeter headed screws that hold this speaker in. Now if your motor is still working, put your switch on and bring the window down so you can access the bolts that hold the window to the regulator down in this area. Now if the motor isn't working, you're going to have to get a little creative like I did right here. See, this is a tough bolt right here, and it gets a little hairy, and see how you gotta See how I pried that out and got that bolt out, and then we have this one over here that we will get now, but there's less restriction over here, so we shouldn't have too much difficulty. Now, to keep the window from falling down, I've got a cord over the top and secured right here to the glass. Next thing we need to do is remove the electrical connector from the motor right here. And after we do that, we want to remove this bolt, this one. We have a nut here, and we have a nut right here. Now, I just pried the regulator off the window. See, this is where it was. So now you can see that the window is free to move. Now I'm going to take the cord off my window so I can lower it. Now we should be able to get the top of the regulator stud out. Okay. Now I've got my cord holding the window back up, and just to be on the safe side, I've inserted this small screwdriver in the top regulator hole, and that will not let the window come down. So now we can take out our motor and regulator. And make sure you don't leave any tools in the door. There it is. There's a motor. We got the regulator piece that's connected to the door, which was a pain in the butt. If you could have got that down halfway down the door towards the bottom, it'd make this job so much easier. You can see how you have to fight with it when it's way up near the top. But you can do it. Look at that, it's a Denso part. So that's all there is to removing a window motor and regulator from a Ford Escape.